This Lusso came into my shop a couple weeks ago, and I'm about to pull the transmission out of it. On 250s and some 330s that have regular transmissions in them, the way Ferrari did it was you had to take the seats out and the center console to pull the transmission, which, you know, a lot of times sounds a little crazy, but once you know that it has to be done, it's just a process that you go through. It's not as bad as it seems. You just have to protect the interior. I mean, I'm going to pull the seats out and carpets and center console, and then lay protective padding inside so that you disconnect the transmission, disconnect the drive shaft, and then basically get a two-man job. One person underneath sliding the transmission back, and then another person inside just grabbing the transmission and pulling it back. But once you establish the process, it's not too bad. I got the interior out. Came out relatively easy. Now all I have to do is get in here and unbolt the bell housing, take the speedometer cable out, and then take the U-joint out. Someone's done me the favor of marking everything, so I can just return it the way it was. Hopefully the balance will remain the same, even though we're adding, a whole tail shaft section to this transmission. The transmission doesn't slide straight back. You kind of have to turn it a little bit to clear certain levers and parking brake levers and things like that. But luckily with a Lusso, the transmission is smaller than normal. It doesn't have an overdrive part in the back, so it makes it a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter. But first job is to get the transmission out of the car and on a workbench, and then I can take a look at what needs to be done. So car is going to go up in the air, start disconnecting, interior comes out, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so we're going to talk about this as I'm doing it. So basically the plan is to get this block of wood and transmission jack just to get the pressure off of the throwout bearing. And I think Matthew up top is just going to pull back as well. There it goes. All right, so that's a little bit. And I think we're going to just try it. You know what? Let me get a screwdriver. I'm going to pry it off the bell housing a little bit. It just needs, because I pushed it back on.
Yeah, see if you can just lower the jack a tiny bit.
Yep. Try that. There it goes. Whoop, did you get your finger?
Nope.
I was afraid of that. I don't even know if this jack is helping. Give me 1 second here. There it goes. All right, now I think I can come up a little higher. And then we got this guy. I'm gonna go up a little higher. All right, and then I'm gonna come up a little higher. Nope, probably too high there.
Yeah, I think we're just hitting the... Yeah,
all right, let me come down a little bit. Is that clear?
Go a little further down.
This is hitting here, this guy. Okay, so I think we're just gonna have to... You think it just, you wanna lift your tail? Can you lift your tail up?
Yep.
Okay, we're on the lever here. Lift your tail, because you're up on this back piece. You have to lift the tail straight up if you can.
Something's catching, so I'm trying to yank it up.
No, you see, okay, so come back to me just a little bit. See this right here, this corner? There you go. All right, now we're gonna turn it this way. There it goes. And then lift a little higher, your corner, there you go. And then this guy, we're gonna just get this around somehow. it goes. You clear?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. You got it?
Yep.
I'm gonna bring you down. It never comes out easy.
That wasn't bad at all, though.
It wasn't, no, but like you said, even with it, the best that it's ever been, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Don't pull this because that'll fly out on you. You ready? Yep. Watch the door. Beautiful. All right. Another transmission out.
By far the easiest one.
Well, the transmission's out. It's never easy, but this time it came out pretty easy. I mean, I think with the transmission jack and Matthew pulling from the inside and me pushing from the bottom and trying to get it out with the support of the transmission jack, we eventually got it out. I mean, I don't think everything hangs up on it one way or the other, whether it's the clutch lever or the cross member or other things. It always seems something or other hangs up, but you just gotta kind of get it all turned and moved and juggled and wrangled, and it eventually just comes out. And now that it's out, I'm gonna start the process of figuring out how this 5-speed gearbox goes in. This is the piece that comes from the kit, and you can see the way it goes in. It's the top of the shifter mechanism here, and the whole 5th gear kind of loads up inside of here. And then this is the tail shaft that also comes in. So I've got a box full of parts and castings that I'm going to end up putting together with the extra 5th gear in there. And I'm assuming that this lever will just reach in here and shift the gearbox into 5th gear. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, I'm in the process of putting this gearbox on the bench and figuring out where we're going to go from there. But that's how you pull a transmission out of a 250 GT. All of them, the 250s, they all come out from inside. But that's how we got this one out of the Lusso, and we'll just keep moving on. This week's mechanic struggle of the week has to do with putting gear oil in the rear end of a Ferrari. So if you look at Ferrari books, they recommend 250 gear oil, which is insanely heavy stuff. There's not many people that supply it. Penrite does, which is this T250. Believe it or not, it's a 250 weight oil. People call it steam oil or whatever it is, but it's super heavy. This one calls it Vintage Veteran and Edwardian axles that originally required 600 weight oils. But this is a 250 weight oil, but Ferrari requires 250 weight. They also make this stuff, which is Torco Racing Gear Oil, which is SA 250. So you can get it. This stuff is available, I think, on Summit and the usual auto supply places. I don't know why Ferrari chose to use such thick oil, but I think some of it was just because it quieted the rear end gears down. A lot of people don't put the heavy stuff in there because they just can't get a hold of it, so they'll just put like 140 weight or something like that, or a multi-weight. But if I can get it, I'm going to put it in there. So I put the heavyweight oil because they require it, but it still has to be pumped into the rear end. The problem I have is trying to get it into the axle. If I am trying to pour it in, it's not going to pour. So it kind of has to be pumped in, but it is so heavy that when it's cold out, it doesn't pour very well. So my shop in the wintertime, I usually keep it about 60 degrees, which is comfortable. But the problem I have is that the oil is now really, really thick. So when I go to pour it into this pump, it flows really slowly. Now, I've actually warmed it up because I have my little infrared heater here, and I've got the oil sitting here warming up because if I try to pump it out of here with it in in the cold temperature that it is, it'll take forever. So I have to actually warm up the oil for a little while so that I can actually pump it into the gear oil. So that's the mechanic struggle of the week.